Guys, I just wanted to make a quick little video talking about chemtrails. To anybody who doesn't know what chemtrails are, they're the things you see in the sky. Look up. They're not clouds. There's a little lines that you see that look like tic-tac-toe games in the sky, crisscrossing. These are not clouds, people. These are chemtrails. They are poisoning us, and we need to spread information about it. And I just want to go over a few facts. Once again, to anybody who doesn't know what chemtrails are, look up into the sky. They are crisscrossing lines that you'll see. Sometimes they're not crisscrossing. Sometimes you'll see them in a single line. They're all kind of formations. Over a period of time, the chemtrails, they form a mist, and which I like to call chem mist. And it's like a foggy cloud, and it'll be covering the sun. Once again, look up in the sky. These are called chemtrails, people. Now I'm going to go over some facts with you. Now, chemtrails, they're a soft kill operation. For anybody that isn't familiar with a soft kill operation, Google it. Soft kill operation. These soft kill attacks are primarily aimed to disable and weaken the enemy, me and you. Not to kill us. They want to weaken us. It's a slow, soft kill operation. Basically, that's what it means. Now, as Dr. Len Horowitz, very respected doctor in my opinion, great guy, he's explained wars are an efficient way to lower population numbers because they destroy infrastructure. The preferable scenario is to create a sick population dependent on the military, medical, industrial complex for their health. In this way, you have population control, and this makes vast fortunes doing it, and it keeps the infrastructure intact. Now, chemtrails are a multi-pronged attack. Firstly, the metallic salts used in the aerosols require. So let me start over. Firstly, the metallic salts used in the aerosols are highly toxic and require our bodies to waste tremendous amounts of energy. And I, for one, remember down when I can remember waking up, this today, a few days ago, and I get tired, and I'm not sure why. I feel fatigued, and I'm starting to wonder exactly these chemtrails. They're affecting me now. Now, firstly, as I said, these metallic salts used in the aerosols, they're highly toxic, and they require our bodies to waste tremendous amounts of energy removing them. Millions of people cannot do it. In the last 10 years, respiratory disease in the United States has moved from 8th to the 3rd highest cause of death. Asthma rates have more than doubled in the Western world, and Alzheimer's disease, a condition that is caused by aluminum poisoning, has skyrocketed. So take in mind, Alzheimer's disease has increased tenfold over the past decade. Alzheimer's is linked with aluminum. Aluminum is found in the chemtrails. Do the math, people. The second thing is the release of diseases in these chemtrails. A highly placed military insider claims that bacteria and viruses are freeze-dried and placed on fine filaments for release. The metals released along with the diseases heat up from the sun, creating a perfect environment for the bacteria and viruses to thrive in the air supply. So basically they're using nanotechnology, artificial blood cells in these chemtrails. Are coming into our system. It may sound outrageous, but please do your research, investigate online, and look into this like I'm doing for you now. Because if we don't, we'll have Alzheimer's, we'll have respiratory diseases, we'll be dependent on the military, pharmaceutical, industrial complex. And they don't want us to be healthy. They don't want us to be able to fend for ourselves. They don't want us to know our rights. They want us to be sick, dumbed down, sitting in front of a television, on dialysis, taking our FDA-approved meds. They don't want us talking. They don't want a community. They want to divide and conquer. They hate it when we get together and get along and share information that helps humanity. They really, honestly want to keep us separated. Just like I was saying a few days ago, the CIA poured millions of dollars worth of cocaine into the black community starting in the late 50s. You know, in the early 50s, 40s, the black community was close. Fathers, you know, almost every black child had a father. But as I was telling you, the CIA poured millions of dollars of cocaine into the African American community through the CIA. And look at what's happened to the black community. A lot of it's disintegrated. You have the gangster rap culture that has arisen, supported by the Illuminati-controlled music industry. I even hate to say Illuminati because I sound mainstream or cliche, New World Order, whatever, you know, the global elite. Everything's molded by, you know, they mold culture. They mold everything on TV, radio. It's all part of their agenda. You know, stick to the internet. You know, there's tons of music I found on Pandora, on other Android apps, Spotify, YouTube. There's tons of music out there. You don't have to rely on MTV and all the corporate media. So use the internet. Anyway, back to the chemtrails. Third, chemtrails contain nanotechnological weapons. No, this isn't Star Trek. Surprisingly, this fact has remained so low-key in the alternative media even. It is well proven by researchers like Dr. Hildegard Staniger. That's Dr. Hildegard Staniger, and if you want to look up any of his chemtrail work, I'll spell you out his name. That's Dr. Hildegard, Hildegarde, last name Staniger, Staninger. This is a former government scientist, Clifford Carnicom. You can look up some of his research. Clifford Carnicom, Carnicom. And these are two doctors that have some really good research proving that all this stuff about chemtrails is true. Moving on. Now, there has been increasing awareness of chemtrails thanks to the internet. But let me tell you, the heavy spraying began in NATO countries starting in the late 90s. But today, chemtrails are being recorded pretty much everywhere, like I see on Madison Moonstar's page. Everyone posting their pictures on the internet of the chemtrails, which is good. We are exposing them. Now, they're being sprayed pretty much everywhere from Russia to Brazil, South Korea to Cuba. This is a program of extraordinary scope and importance. However, while we know a chemtrail program exists, there is very little hard information on how it functions and what its goals are, according to this little paragraph. But we know what its goals are. We know what its agenda is. Depopulation, get us dependent on the pharmaceutical industry, dumb us down, soft kill operation, as I said earlier. Now, you know, most politicians are oblivious to this, or they don't even want to know about it, or they're told not to talk about it. Now, a former CIA and NSA operative said, A.C. Griffin, that's A.C.Griffin, if you want to look him up, I am quoting, "The monies that go into the CIA projects don't necessarily come from congressional appropriations. The Congress as a whole is completely oblivious to the aerosol program. They are afraid to ask." Now, this is a former CIA and NSA operative saying this, A.C. Griffin. Look him up, A.C.Griffin. People on the inside who oppose the program are punished. One of the key people who designed the aerosol program is now sitting in a federal penitentiary, and nobody can get to him, nobody can ask him questions. Kind of reminds me of Sirhan, or the Tsarnaev brother, or the Colorado Batman shooter. Nobody can get to any of these people. You know, they don't want to talk to them because they know it's false flags. These are horrible things going on. Now, commercial airliners, they've been involved in spraying. In the very beginning, the aerosols were sprayed solely by military planes only, but now commercial airliners are equipped with the aerosol machines. But now the program has been expanded, and commercial airliners have been outfitted with aerosol units controlled by computers and satellites. Photos provide evidence of this, like the Lufthansa jet flying over the U.S. It's a photo I have here. It's irrelevant for me to show you though. In the airline industry, the operation is known as Project Cloverfield. In 2000, a high-level executive at an American airline revealed his office was visited by two men from an unnamed government agency. Alrighty, now this is an executive from an airline company. He wanted to keep his name anonymous, and he wanted to keep the company name anonymous. Here's what he was told. I'm assuming it was American Airlines, United Airlines, whatever. But here's what he said. They told us that the government was going to pay our airline, along with others, to release special chemicals from commercial aircraft. When asked what the chemicals were and why we were going to spray them, they told us that information was given on a need-to-know basis, and we weren't cleared for it. We were made to sign non-disclosure forms that basically stated that we would go to prison if we told anyone what we knew. Now this is disturbing. The guys even spraying this, you know, they're not even being told what they're spraying it for, and if they are being told what they're spraying it for, it's because the pilots are dumb enough to believe they're being told they're spraying it to stop global warming. Bogus. That's bogus. Delivery by commercial aircraft raises the possibility that many countries have not even given consent, but they're being sprayed and may be unaware of it even happening. So let's say we have a U.S. airliner flying into Brazil, or let's say Chile, Argentina, Russia, wherever. And this commercial airliner is just able to spray. They're spraying them everywhere. And some of these countries, I just told you, they may not even be aware of it. So this is definitely a covert operation in the making, but it's the evidence is right there in the sky. It's ironic. Now, you know, weather manipulation, this connects to chemtrails. Weather manipulation is a daily occurrence. Chemtrails are used in conjunction with HAARP. I'm sure many of you are familiar with HAARP, H-A-A-R-P, the weather facility located in Alaska. Now, chemtrails are used in conjunction with HAARP for geoengineering, the technical term for weather control, geoengineering. Much is written about the ability to create these disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, against an enemy. But we don't realize that weather patterns are manipulated all the time. Scott Stevens was a TV weatherman in the U.S. but quit his job upon realizing that this was happening on a nigh daily basis. Look him up, YouTube him. His name is Scott Stevens, a former viable TV weatherman. He got fed up and he quit his job upon realizing that this was happening on a nigh daily basis with the chemtrails and geoengineering. And once again, that is Scott Stevens, former TV weatherman, quit his job due to the overabundance of chemtrails and the ignorance of the mainstream media on the topic. Scott Stevens. And also, a few other little facts for you. Griffin also revealed, as I was telling you guys earlier about A.C. Griffin, former CIA and NSA operative, he goes on to say that former Bill Clinton era Navy Chief of Naval Operations, Jeremy Borda, this is Jeremy Borda, former Navy Chief of Operations during the Clinton era, was murdered because he opposed the program, the aerosol program. Borda, B-O-O-R-D-A, that's how you spell his name if you want to look him up, that's Jeremy Borda, B-O-O-R-D-A, was found dead in 1996 with 3 shotgun wounds in his chest. The authorities were quick to claim he committed suicide, and the autopsy results were never released to the public. How convenient. And once again, if you want to look into him, this is former Navy Chief of Naval Operations, Jeremy Borda, B-O-O-R-D-A, and he was the former Navy Chief of Naval Operations during the Clinton era, and he was going to come out about chemtrails, and they murdered him. 3 shotgun bullets to the chest. 3 shotgun wounds to the chest. Horrible. Horrible. So, Alrighty. So from what from what I'm reading here, this is horrible, horrible stuff. Go on Google, look it up. This is all happening. Chemtrails are happening. They're being sprayed in the sky, and we're just like insects. It's horrible. Look it up. Chemtrails. Write your local politicians, even though they're most likely going to do nothing about it. Keep the word out, and I'm going to have another video tomorrow more about the aerosol programs. Thank you.